Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Melayna, and I'm a practitioner here at the Dharma Bum Temple. And today I'll be leading you through some loving kindness practice. But before we get started, I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. I'm a long-time yoga practitioner. I've been practicing yoga for probably the better part of a decade. And as I was doing my practice today, I was thinking about kind of the role asana practice has in yoga. And asana practice, or the poses, or the actual what we're preparing for when we do that, is for meditation and silence. In Buddhism, when we meditate, when we sit in stillness and silence, we're preparing for life, for chaos, for everything else that goes on outside of this room. And I think that's important to kind of remember, is that when we sit in here and we practice, we're not practicing for the meditation Super Bowl. We're meditating so that we can, we're not like, we're going to go and we're going to meditate. We're going to get that trophy, guys. It's going to be great. That's not what we're doing. We're meditating so that we can take that peace and that calm and that clarity and take it out into the world and do action, karma, speak good words, think good thoughts, do good deeds. That's the act that we're doing, that is the practice, is not the purpose of the practice. And when it comes to metta, loving kindness, that particular meditation allows us to go out in the world and put that skill into use. Once we sit here and we practice sending that, the love to strangers and friends alike, we can better put that into use. And kind of the underlying backbone of a practice that I think we often forget is that we're able to send that kindness out because we come to understand that just as we suffer, others suffer, and they wish not to suffer, just as we wish not to suffer. And so that's why we practice. That's why we sit. That's why we do this practice. It's just like crazy to think that, with all this, everything that goes on in the world and everything that we can be distracted by, that we can come and we can sit and we can be quiet. And I think it's truly a blessing. It's really great for me. But yeah, other things I was thinking about today. I started thinking about how things are both arising and vanishing simultaneously, and how when we are born, it is determined that one day we will die. We will no longer be here. And impermanence is really, I think, the greatest refuge for me when it comes to this practice, and knowing that things are of the nature to change. People are of the nature to change. I am of the nature to change. Everything in this world is of the nature to change. And a lot of people view it as a bad thing. They're like, what do you mean? I like everything I have. Everything's so great. But because those things change, and because the good things change, the bad things change too. However that works out, whatever your determination of good or bad is. But yeah, I'm just kind of riffing today. I'm ready to sit, ready to be here with you. It is so much darker than the last time I was here at this time. And yeah, we have evidence of change all around us. Yeah, with that, I'll go ahead and get into the meditation practice. It's important to judge your practice. And then a lot of people, they say you need this posture, that posture. Sit however you're comfortable. We're going to be here for a minute. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever you're comfortable with. Periodically, through Loving Kindness Meditation, I will speak. I tend to not speak very much during my particular style of meditation. I'll usually give one prompt and just let you go for about 5 minutes. The other thing that I've noticed lately with my metta practice is that when I start repeating the phrases, because I'm going to say, may they be safe, may they be happy, may they be healthy, may they live with ease. I'll sit there in my head and go, may they be safe, may they be happy, may they be healthy, may they live with ease. And that's not particularly soothing for me. So don't judge like how many times you're repeating that or how often you're repeating it, or if you're even repeating it at all. Just send the intention, keep the person in your mind, and do what's best. It's not we're not racing. Like I said, there's no meditation Olympics that I'm aware of. So but yeah, with that, welcome everyone who's watching at home. I appreciate you. I'm sorry I forget about you so much. Feel free to say hi in the chat. There will be time for questions later if you want to put a question in there. And then, with that, I will go ahead and actually start the meditation practice. I'll start with 3 imitations of the bell. I'll finish with 3 imitations of the bell. And from there, we will enjoy this beautiful evening, the crickets and all. Bring your focus to your breath. Focus on each in-breath and out-breath. Settle into your body. Bring your awareness to yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Notice what you're thinking, how your mind is currently moving. We'll start our practice by bringing loving kindness to ourselves. We often forget that love starts with ourselves, and without loving ourselves, we cannot spread that to the rest of the world. It may help for you to focus on yourself as a child and send love for yourself that way. Bringing your intention to yourself and your body, repeat the phrases, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease. Now, we will begin to send loving kindness outward. Bring to mind a benefactor, someone you care about, or someone who's benefited you in some way. Recognize that just as you suffer, they also suffer and wish to be free of suffering. Without judgment, without expectation, offer them the phrases, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Now, let this person go and bring to mind a neutral person, someone you don't know very well, maybe someone you see at the bus stop or a coworker. Recognize that just as this person suffers, just as you suffer, this person also suffers. Offer them the phrases, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Now, let this person go. Bring to mind a difficult person, someone you may be in conflict with. It may not be best to choose the most difficult person in your life, but you might want to choose someone who is currently irritating you. Recognize that just as you suffer, this person also suffers and wishes to be free of that suffering. Without expectation and without condition, offer them the phrases, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Let this person go and begin to expand your awareness to all beings in all directions. Recognize that because these beings exist, they too experience suffering and wish to be free of that suffering. Offer them the phrases, may they be safe, may they be happy, may they be healthy, may they live with ease. Now, letting go of all thoughts of others, bring your awareness back to the present moment, back to right here and right now. Thank yourself for sitting in this practice. When you are ready, you may open your eyes and return to the space. Welcome back, everyone. Feel free to take a moment to sit, be with yourself, stretch a little if you need to, move around. I think I'll speak for a bit. I think one of the most important things to remember about loving kindness practice is that, as with all four of the Brahma Viharas, which are, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity, is that they're all rooted in generosity. Generosity is one of I believe it was the very first teaching of the Buddha. And it is us being generous with our kindness. We offer it without expectation, without condition. We don't expect anything in return. That is true generosity. Giving with an expectation of return is not generous. It is. I guess it's greedy, or transactional, and it can lead to more suffering and disappointment. And I know it can be difficult at times to be generous with our friendliness, our goodwill, our kindness, because we might think that certain people don't deserve it or certain people aren't worthy. And that's not true. No matter what anyone has done or who they are, where they come from, offering them goodwill has a net benefit for everyone. Net benefit for yourself, mostly. Firstly, but there's a net benefit for all. And that's something to remember, because it's easy to sit here and offer people goodwill when we're not looking at them. We're not watching them do things, and they're not in our faces saying things we don't like. It is much more difficult to do that out in the world, where people aren't always as well behaved as they are in our minds. But yeah, so with that, I'll open it up and let you guys speak if you'd like. I'm open to questions about Buddhism, about loving kindness, about practice. I'll give you my take on it. I'm by no means a monk or a nun or any of that good stuff, so I'm just as unenlightened as any of you. And also, if you want to share a little bit about your experience with the meditation today, or your practice. But yeah, with that, you're welcome to speak up when you like. No need to introduce yourself. If you want to, you can. But yeah, I'll just sit, I'll wait, and we'll go from there. Anyone watching at home, you're welcome to type questions in the chat or comments, whatever you'd like, and I'll try to respond to them as best I can.
I'm John. I've been coming about a month now to various meetings, basically trying them all out. And so I'm still coming to grasp all the different concepts. And so I might inquire about equanimity in sort of my mind, as far as a word that I've known, it always sort of meant to be equal with all around you, or something along those lines. And I was just wondering, in Buddhism, is there something a little bit more specific or
Yes,
less specific?
definitely. The question revolves around what is equanimity in terms of Buddhist practice. And equanimity, when we say equanimity, what we mean is basically it relates to our reactivity. So when something happens and we get overwhelmed, we have a tendency to react without thinking. And that can get really blown out of proportion. You get anger, you get all kinds of these emotions. What equanimity is being unbothered, of being able to sort of, you experience something, you experience an emotion, but instead of reacting to it in a compulsive way, you sit with that in quiet, in still, in calm, and then take an action as a result. Equanimity is actually something that I spent a lot of time with. That was like one of the things I really needed. Because I came to the temple, I was very overwhelmed and I was very quick and irrational and full of rage. And I had to learn, and my reactions got me in a lot of trouble because they were so out of pocket, so outrageous. There was jail time involved. Like, it got out of control. And what equanimity practice does is basically, whether it's good or bad, we stay constant. We stay balanced. They say, you're not affected by praise or blame. We are unaffected. It doesn't mean we don't have emotions. Just means that we don't overreact to things. And then, sometimes it's kind of a shaky line. I know for me personally, I did a lot of dissociation where I'm not feeling anything and I'm not reacting because I'm not doing anything. Equanimity is not that. Equanimity is not ignoring things. Equanimity is not feeling. Equanimity is feeling, but being okay with it anyway. At least that's from my perspective. And it's all outcomes are equal. Not necessarily everything is equal. It's more like a egalitarian. That's equality in terms of, society status. But equanimity is that all outcomes are equal. They're viewed the same. Things are, and that sort of relates kind of a deeper understanding of karma. A lot of people view karma as, people, what goes around comes around, right? But that's not karma. Karma is things happen and then other things happen. And it doesn't have a sense of justice. It doesn't have a sense of fairness. It's not good things happen. You did something good, so good things are going to happen to you. And you did something bad, bad things are going to happen to you. That's not the way it works. Just things happen, causes and conditions happen, and then more things happen. And that's kind of hard to get around because we want there to be some sort of set of morality or justice to it, and that there's not. Like, the world just doesn't work the way we want it to. And that's really the biggest part of the practice, is just accepting that things are going to happen the way they happen. And it is what it is our actions, not our reactions. We don't want to react. We don't want to be rash. We don't want to be compulsive. We don't want to let our anger, ignorance, greed, the 3 poisons, take over and cause us to act harshly. We want to sit with what we're feeling and move forward with wisdom, compassion, and understanding so that we can do our best to try and put the intention forward to do good things. It doesn't mean necessarily good things are going to result from what we do, but we can try. We can do better. And if it doesn't go the way we thought it did, now we know, and we can do better next time. But it's basically, equanimity is basically just not falling to pieces when things happen, essentially. Holding it together, but not holding it together by force. This practice is not one of resisting things. When changes happen, we have to be resilient and have to be strong and flow along with them. Let things pass through us, not hold on to them. But yeah, I think if I continue on, I will get way off topic. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there.
I do understand how it's all about reactions, as you say. It's often those unwise reactions that create a lot of the trouble. I just sat with the feelings and process them rather than reacting. Things probably would have come out differently in certain situations. So I appreciate that. That's a very nice way of it.
It's just about suffering less today than you did yesterday.
Cool.
I've mentioned before that this is one of the harder practices for me personally. Not the reflecting on me or someone neutral, but like the people that I find irritating or broader. For me, it's a bit of a struggle. And as I was doing this practice, suddenly my throat's itchy, my nose is running, and you know what I mean? Like I'm having a reaction just from being still and trying to focus on, the task at hand, and now that it's over, fine, just fine.
Totally good.
So I think that there's layers to it, right? Like
Yeah.
the body we respond to things that we don't necessarily, that make us uncomfortable, even on a subconscious level, or I do anyways, right? That's something that I noticed in this practice. And throughout, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have a coughing fit. Like, okay, but I'm not coughing anymore. It's just during certain parts of a particular meditation I don't particularly like, or so yeah. So, it's just a funny little thing that I noticed today that I don't have it registered before.
It's definitely like a nervous system thing.
Yes.
Like, it's like they say that like, your body doesn't know that like you paid your credit card bill late versus being chased by a leopard. It's all the same to your nervous system. So you're going to react the same way. Or similarly, maybe not exactly the same. I'm not going to run as fast. Let's see, I do have some comments here. I find that I often dislike myself and I'm often the most difficult person I know. I don't seem to be living up to what I could be. This seems to be partly driven by comparison, comparing myself to others or imagining how much better people are than myself. What are other ways of showing myself loving kindness and to be less harsh? I've been there. Forgiveness, patience, having patience for yourself and your process and what you're going through. We see certain sides of people, especially, these days, people get to blast themselves on the internet and be like, look at me, I'm at the beach, I'm having cake, I'm having this, I'm having that. But, part of this practice is realizing that they too are also suffering. You're suffering. their suffering, and they wish to be free of their suffering. And whatever you perceive is going on in their lives, and whatever you perceive is going on in your life, you really can't know what is truly going on with another human being. I mean, we can get even deeper with that and the fact that you can't perceive reality, but that's for another tale for another day. But I would say, offer yourself grace. If you're judging yourself, offer yourself grace, offer yourself forgiveness, offer yourself space to exist and be as you are. Have no expectations, not no expectations. Like, you should expect that, if you put water on the stove to boil, it should boil. If you turn the stove on, but don't have expectations for outcome of what other people are supposed to do or what you're supposed to be doing. I had a very judgmental moment of myself about 5-6 weeks ago. I went to a day of mindfulness retreat in the monastery, and we had this moment where we were doing something they called Dharma sharing that I had never done before. And everyone's describing these like insane transcendental moments, and they're crying and they're having all these emotional, like, incredible experiences they're describing. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't feel anything at all. Am I doing Buddhism wrong? And it kind of sent me on this trip. Like, am I supposed to be feeling more than I'm feeling? And then I just kind of realized that it's fine. Like, this is it. How I feel in this moment is perfectly real and valid, and how they feel in this moment is perfectly real and valid. And there's nothing wrong with either of these things or either of these outcomes. It's just what is. So I hope that helps. Please be kinder to yourself. I'm offering you kindness right now. Just don't judge yourself. Every day is going to be different. Things aren't always going to turn out the way you want them to. I know that from experience. But everything's of the nature to change. So if it's not good now, maybe it will be later, but who knows? Yeah, good. Yes.
When you talk about expectations and generosity, so in a friendship, if you give an ear and empathy during hard times, and then when you face the same thing, you don't receive that from your friend, is it greedy to feel disappointed by that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Sorry. So if during a friendship you're an ear and give empathy and support and care when they're going through a hard time, and then some time passes, you start going through a hard time, and they don't give you the same thing, is that greedy to feel disappointed?
It's not, okay. So basically, that would be nice, right? If all of our friends sympathized and empathized with us the same way we sympathize and empathize with them. But to hold that as an expectation is setting ourselves up for disappointment. I wouldn't say it's like greedy per se, because we all want that sort of support and forgive, and that sort of kindness and empathy. But it's just really, you can't expect it from people, unfortunately. Like, it would be nice to be able to expect that from people, especially when we offer so much. I know I offer quite a bit in my relationships, and often it's a source of my anger that I expect that in return. And I just learned, there's a saying, don't expect anything from anyone ever. And it sounds bad, right? Like, it doesn't sound fun. This isn't fun. Buddhism, not fun. We have fun, but the actual practice itself is it's very difficult to do that, right? It's difficult not to want that from someone else. And, it's not greedy to want that, but you can't expect something in return just because you offered it. And that's part of the generosity of it, is that if you give a gift, it's just a gift, and that's where it goes. And I know we want that. We want that sort of reciprocity that makes sense. But we didn't sign a contract. They're not required to do anything. Most successful friendships, I think, have a sense of, and relationships in general have a sense of give and take, in just my experience. And, the other thing is that we don't know what's going on with them. We don't know if they're capable of offering that sort of support and emotion, what you need in that exact moment. And maybe they'll offer it later, but we can't have that expectation. And I'm not going to say it's greedy. I'm not saying you're greedy for wanting that. It's definitely, we're not supposed to have attachments to outcome, and that's the practice, but it doesn't mean that we don't. So yeah, I don't think that helps, but that's basically what happens. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, I definitely struggle with that myself, and wanting a certain type of emotional support. But yeah, have I been ignoring you, Art? I'm sorry.
I had something happen to me today that it tested loving kindness. So I had a run with my chiropractor in Coronado. So I don't have a car. I have a bike and an electric scooter. So my wife and I were separated. We have a kid. So all of a sudden, we're gonna have lunch with a chiropractor at the same time. I went to I had to go somewhere else. And then I get back to where I'm at, and I asked her, I was like, hey, I'm leaving right now on my electric scooter. If I get to the Coronado Bridge around the time that you get there in your car, can you meet me right there in Logan Heights? You just get off the freeway exit, a minute, pick me up, and go to the Bay Bridge. And my wife's like, I don't know if I can stop. And I'm thinking, it's only gonna take a minute. And I want to see my son. She's like, I don't know, I'm in a hurry, whatever. So, and then I was thinking to yesterday, I want to go see my son, and she's like, I know that she's struggling financially, so I was like, let me fill up the gas tank, just as a sort of good matter. But today when she mentioned it, I was like, the next time I'm probably not going to fill up your gas tank. But then I had to stop myself, and I was like, you know what, no. Don't think like that. I fill up her gas tank because I know she's struggling. I don't expect anything. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'll screw it up, just get an Uber. And so I get to my appointment with the chiropractor, and my wife and my son saw me, and he's like, you made it? I was like, yeah, I did. and I was like, you know what, this could have gone south really bad, really quick. But again, why am I, 3 years in recovery, one thing I've learned is, talking to my sponsor, expectations are resentments when it happens. So I was like, you know what, she's going through her stuff. It's not for me to judge, and you know what, I got to see my son a little more than I want. So, but when I was going through it, I was like, okay, she tested my ego, and it's only 1 minute off the freeway. Whatever, just let it go. I got to see my son. We got to have lunch. What more do I want?
Thank you. All right. Well, we've come to the end. So with that, I'm going to turn my hearing aids down so I don't blow my ears out again. And then we'll go ahead and close. If you're comfortable, please bring your hands to heart center. We dedicate this practice to all beings in all directions. May they be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And before y'all head out today, our Dharma Bum host, Marcy, has an announcement.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Marcy, and I'm tonight's host. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing an interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book that you like, feel free to borrow it and then bring it back whenever you're done with it. Please straighten your seats or cushions before you head out, and if a few of you can stay behind and close and latch the windows, that would be helpful. Thank you all for being here, and we wish and hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy.